Shock! A reality TV show fakes something. Cody Rhodes reveals bad blood with AEW, my review of AEW Dynamite, and more. I'm Luke Owen and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
It's been a couple of days since the release of Unreal on Netflix, a supposed all-access expose of the behind-the-scenes workings of WWE, where you can see how the sausage is made. It's really aimed at non-fans, like F1's Drive to Survive, the idea being that it will convince people who like the docuseries to check out the show that it's based upon. Reviews have been mixed thus far, and Ollie Davis and myself will be giving our full thoughts on the 5 episodes in tomorrow's WrestleTalk podcast. But the question was always going to be, how real is Unreal? Well, the answer is fairly obvious. This reality TV show was staged a bit at times. Now look, this isn't unique to Unreal, of course. All reality-based TV shows have a degree of fabricated reality to them. Even if it's not staged, it can be edited in a way to tell a story that is slightly different to the actual reality of a situation. And according to Fightful Select, some of Unreal was set up, so to speak. While talents were told there wasn't anything they weren't allowed to say, but were told to watch some of their language, hilarious when you hear how many F-bombs are dropped throughout the show, one talent told Fightful that they didn't realize they were being filmed for the show because WWE often have cameras filming things backstage and you didn't always know what they were for. This will probably come as no surprise, but production people Fightful spoke to legitimately did not know about John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber as was presented in Unreal. But there was some speculation online that the off-script comments made by Tiffany Stratton to Charlotte Flair in the build for their WrestleMania match was manufactured by the show. However, Fightful report these are just theories, adding nobody we talked to involved with the segment ever claimed that. The original report of the segment was Stratton felt she had to fight back after Flair took over a side-by-side promo segment a few weeks earlier that made Tiffany look bad. So when Flair went off script again in the promo segment and made fun of Stratton's voice, Tiffany fought back and made references to Flair's real-life divorce, prompting Charlotte to make an offhanded comment about Ludwig Kaiser, who was dating Stratton, being in her DMs. The segment was described as a wreck backstage with heat on both women, and those lines were edited out of social media clips. It's presented slightly different in Unreal, where Flair is shown to be the sympathetic character. Fightful add, on typical WWE shows, talent are still completely scripted verbatim. For example, even Paul Heyman and CM Punk's promos were fully scripted and included on internal scripts this past week. But one thing that was for sure fabricated, at least according to Fightful Select, is a shot where the women's locker room applauded Charlotte Flair after she won the Royal Rumble. In the episode, it completely makes sense that this happened, as the story was about Flair's return from injury and the Royal Rumble win was the reward for her hard work. Fightful write the women's locker room was asked to empty to cheer for Charlotte Flair when she won the Royal Rumble. They weren't told it was specifically for the Netflix show, but were just asked to. They add that talent were not forced to do it, and Flair was aware that this was staged. Overall though, Fightful report that a lot of people are happy with Unreal, how it turned out, and how much buzz there is for it online. Now, I can't speak to online reactions, but I do know that it's been a big talking point within the WrestleTalk office, with a lot of us watching episodes while working on other things. So what did you make of Unreal? Have you watched all 5 episodes? Let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of things bleeding over into real life, and there are still some weird question marks over the departure of Cody Rhodes from All Elite Wrestling. You know, the company he helped launch. His contract came up in 2022, and it was revealed that he and Brandy Rhodes would leave AEW and return to WWE, with Cody re-debuting at WrestleMania to beat Seth Rollins. He has since become the company's top star and spent much of 2024 as the WWE champion. There was lots of speculation leading up to his departure that there was somewhat of a split between him and the rest of the Elite. Even on TV, it felt like he was in a different company to everyone else. Ollie Davis used to call it the Cody Zone, and Stephen Larson referred to it as Cody Island. And in a new interview with The Ringer, Cody has said when talking about AEW, there's clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect and love. He says that if he was disrespected in WWE, that would be one thing because that's the Yankees and he's just a number on a sheet. But feeling disrespected at something I built with my friends that we built, feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it. He adds that he and Brandy felt that they could accomplish more, and AEW would see that the moment he walked out the door. He said, "I don't believe in the cold-hearted, backstabby type of revenge. The greatest revenge on earth is success." And I felt like we were sitting on something wonderful, something great, a huge, potentially with what I was doing with the American Nightmare as a bad guy, a good guy, something in between. We were sitting on something magic. And if I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt Jackson, Kenny Omega, and Nick Jackson built, then, buddy, I'm going elsewhere. It's interesting that the Elite were named there, but not Tony Khan, which has led to some speculation. That is who Cody is talking about when talking about being disrespected by someone. So what do you make of Cody's comments? Let me know in our comments. With SummerSlam this weekend, WWE are holding tryouts for new signees, which were revealed in a social media video. Among the names are Big Trouble Ben Bishop, who is nearly 7 foot tall, Anita Vaughn, who recently lost the EVE International Championship to AEW's Chris Statlander, LJ Cleary, the real-life fiancé of Lyra Valkyria, and Rain Leverkusen, the current Hustle champion, who also does work around the UK in places like Progress. Having seen Rain wrestle up close, she is the complete package and a total star. My editor Kieran is nodding as I'm saying that. Anita Vaughn is also awesome and one half of the great tag team Hyperactive with Sapphire Reed, who recently challenged Mercedes Moné for the Rev Pro Women's Championship. Golden Boy Santos is also among the names at the tryouts, as is influencer Megan Walker. The best of luck to all of them. And speaking of best of luck, I wanted to extend a personal message to Jack Cartwheel ahead of his title match tomorrow as he faces Cappuccino Jones for the WWE ID Men's Championship. Jack is a superb talent and I'm rooting for him to win. I met him at a Rev Pro show last year and he was awesome. So send your well wishes and best of lucks to Jack in the comments. If I could, Jack, I'd attempt a cartwheel of my own, but I think my back might explode, so you'll have to do a cartwheel for me, bud. But it's Thursday, you know what that means. It's time for my review of AEW Dynamite in about 5 minutes. The show opened with a great hype package for Hangman Page defending the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley, and then we got the Outrunners taking on the Young Bucks in the Tag Team Title Tournament. The Bucks got the jobber entrance, and then their lower third was, hilariously, not filled in properly. They had a really fun match with some good comedy spots, and the Bucks got the win with the TK driver. Kazuchika Okada came down to beat up the Outrunners with the Bucks, and Swerve Strickland came out for the save, doing the swerve stomp to the heels from the top rope to the floor. Later in the show, the Bucks shook hands with FTR because, well, they're all heels now, but Stoke didn't show them any respect. MJF was told by Shelton Benjamin that he's cheap and also gave him a thumbs down, meaning if MVP also gives MJF the thumbs down, he's officially out of the group. So he's gonna cost the Hurt Syndicate the titles at Forbidden Door and help FTR win, isn't he, right? Speaking of FTR and their feud with Adam Copeland, Christian Cage came out for a promo where it seemed like he stumbled over his words a little bit. He said that he's an arsehole, but he's an arsehole with feelings. Were things he said about Copeland really that bad when you think about all the reprehensible things that Cope has done in his career? Good point, well made. He suggested that Shayna Wayner has a wizard sleeve, and then told Nick Wayne he'll have to go through him if he really wants to be the future of this company. Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian attacked him on the ramp and hit him with a concerto, but like the proper old school concerto, not the one-man version on the floor. And then we got, at the top of the hour, the AEW World Championship match between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. These two just have incredible chemistry together, and this was no different. It was violent and brutal, but not like the All-In match. This was like mental violence and brutality. But boy, was it also physical. The rest of the Death Riders were banned from ringside, and after a ref bump, Claudio and Yuta appeared in the crowd and were held back by security, and Marina snuck the title into the ring for Moxley to use, leading to an amazing near fall. Darby Allin dived off the balcony next to Statler and Waldorf onto the Death Riders, and Page hit a wicked couple of buckshots for the win. A fantastic match you should go out of your way to watch. As was Toni Storm tagging with Alex Windsor, taking on Athena and Billy Starks. Athena got a blind tag while Storm was running wild and hit the O-Face for the win. She then told Storm that it was just a matter of time before she cashes in. Why not cash in now? You've got her beaten. Literally, you just beat her. Hangman Page called MJF a coward, and Willow Nightingale set up a match with Tekla for Collision. I'm sure the rest of the Triangle of Madness will be listening to Love Metal by him, like me, when I was a teenager. And the main event saw Mark Briscoe beat Ricochet in a fun little match with the Jay Driller. He then said that we're just getting started, but Mark, there's like 5 minutes left of the broadcast. He called out MJF, who appeared on the screen, and announced that they would be having a match next week because the Cowboy called him a coward. And then he attacked Mark Briscoe from behind like a coward, lol. Page ran down to make the save and end the show, and what a show it was. Great matches, good promos, and and a new era of AEW as MJF vs. Paige is your next big title program. Now please go and watch our cutscene review of Justice League, you know, the Joss Whedon version, Justice League, and it's absolutely terrible. The movie, that is, not our 2-hour review. That's pretty great. Click the video on screen right now.